All right, so awesome. Let's just go ahead and get started. Hopefully you can hear me okay, assuming that you can. So welcome again. My name's Pamela Dussault Runtag, and I am the creator and the teacher of the REAP healing method. The REAP healing method, REAP, which stands for Remote Energetic Alignment Process, is an energetic healing method. It's based in energy medicine and energy psychology. And basically, all that means is you're using energy to heal and also to read or get messages about the person's sickness, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual. And you will get information and messages about that, about being out of balance, why things are out of balance. It can be, again, it can be in their physical body. It can be in life. It can be with any area of life. Financial, material or emotional relationships, all of it. So I come from the background, first of all, I come from the background of massage therapy. And from there, I realized I have much more to offer in terms of what I can see and feel. So I started incorporating things like Reiki and shamanism, and just with all different methods and modalities that I had been trained in, that I actually love each one of them. I realized just there's a way for me to put it together, but to bring about this healing method, but also something came to me as I was working on somebody one day. So it's kind of this blend between it being a blend of actual training that I've had and something that I actually received from a higher source to do. So what REAP isn't exactly what I had been trained in. It was something that did come to me in a divinely guided way that I was guided to follow through with. And the rest of it is sort of supplemented with other modalities that I'm trained in, that I'm certified in even. So I put it all together and I started working with my clients, and I found that it was giving great results and intensive insight into what it is that might be causing the problem, or maybe not causing it, but maybe inhibiting the wellness of the person. So there are a lot of different factors that can play into it, and it was my intuition and my gifts and abilities, psychically and otherwise, were picking up on these things. So I started to utilize it, but I had been given a very structured format through this divine guidance to follow. And so I was doing that. And what was happening was, somebody might hold a story that was an old story that just kept repeating over and over again. It was something that maybe they couldn't seem to get out of. and or move past from. It could have been a trauma. It could have just been a belief. We base our beliefs on certain experiences and our perceptions, and so then it becomes this story that we just keep reliving over and over again. And as I was doing this work, what was happening was I was seeing the new story, and I was able to share with these people what the new story was. And as I was bringing about the healing with the energy work that was being done. So again, it was just this wonderful, incredible, magical, miraculous mishmash of a lot of different things. And so giving it a name that would best describe what it was my first task. And then after that, I started using it with great success. A few years ago, I was also divinely guided to pass the baton, which was the quote that I had heard, and that it was time to teach other people this method. Now that I had been doing it for a while, it's time to branch out and give others who want to either heal themselves, heal their loved ones, or bring more healing into the world through their business practice, give them the tools how to do this. And really encourage everybody who had these gifts that maybe they didn't know they had, or they had hoped that they had. Give them some tools to tap into it, and allow them and invite them to be part of the community of healing, of doing good in the world, and of helping others, and kind of one step at a time, one person at a time way. So the certification training was born, and the National Certification Board of Therapeutic Massage and Bodywork, which I am a member of because of my history with massage therapy, had approved of this method, and they were able to offer continuing education units for those who became certified in this method, which this upcoming class is the last class that will be given the CEUs from the National Certification Board of Therapeutic Massage and Bodywork, NCBTMB for short. This will be the last course because they have, as of January 1st, they are changing their rules and regulations to no longer include any kind of energy medicine or energy work, which is unfortunate. I should also mention that anything that is remote based, so any kind of distant work, is also no longer being approved by them. And not that it's, it's understandable. They have to follow certain rules and regulations based in science. And right now, there's just not a whole lot of data out there, scientific data, that can really prove in the way that the forces that may be, the way they can quantify the data, that is, that proves how energy medicine works. The closest they've come is with meditation, which, thank God for that. And I'm very happy about that. But I'm also very, very confident that that's going to change in time too. That, energy medicine, energy psychology, really is the new wave of healing in the future, the way to reach out to people at a distance is going to be needed more than ever. And so, just keep your eyes and ears open, because things are going to change. I'm very confident about that. But back to the repealing method. So a lot of good things had been coming regarding this method. And it's still a wonderful method, and it's thriving. And I have many practitioners who are certified in it and offering their talents and abilities to their own clientele using the repealing method. And then I have others who enjoy using it just on themselves or on their loved ones, and that's okay too. So, couple of things. The repealing method, REAP, which stands for Remote Energetic Alignment Process, isn't only done remotely. This is something that I stress that while it had come about that way for me, and that's how I pass it on to other people, it is definitely something that can be used in person too. Just having it done remotely is just the way, to separate it from other types of healing work or healing modality. It is based on 11 different areas of the body, which I had been shown actually hold a great deal of power in terms of our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. Okay, so if you're at all familiar with the chakras, it's actually similar to that, except there are 11 of them. And, some of those areas are in the same area as a chakra, and some of them are not. So it's a little bit different that way. And so I had been shown that we have the power to actually activate these centers to bring about balance and healing, right? In whatever way is needed. Again, out of any of those four portions of that make up our being, for being the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, the activation can address the needs of that, of whatever is needed in there. But it didn't just end there. This was where the intuitive part came in, and any psychic or other spiritual gifts that you might have would also blend in, where you get to see an insight about that imbalance. And so you would have that. You would know, in the training, you would know which area it is that needs to be activated. And you will know that because you will be trained that. And I'm going to go over the phases of the training in a minute, so bear with me. So you would know where to go. You would know what to activate. You would know why to activate, what was going on, why that needed to come about. And then you would do the activation. Generally in a session, there's more than one activation center. We usually have 2 or 3 or sometimes even 4 centers that work together to maybe create the balance that's needed at that time in that particular session for whatever it is the client needs. Okay. I mean, generally all the 11 activation centers work together, but sometimes there's, 2, 3, or 4 that that stand out for the healing needs. And then those work together. So in a session, you would have that, and you would feel it. You would feel when the practitioner working on you. You would know something was going on in the body. This is a very experiential type of healing. This isn't, and I love Reiki. I'm a master Reiki teacher, but and it, for Reiki, for me, it just feels good all around, and I just feel very relaxed, and I like that. And that has, for me, it served its purpose. But this is very specific in these areas. And so the activations act like attunements in a way. So you're always getting attuned, and it's always getting you up to a higher vibration or a higher frequency for your healing and for your wellness and happiness and all of that good stuff. And then, when the session is done, generally the practitioner will share with you any insights that came about. They might even share with you the insights that are happening as they happen, which is totally fine. There's no real protocol in that. It's whatever the relationship is between, the client and the practitioner. So whatever's most comfortable there. So there would be a sharing. There would be some suggestions maybe on how to keep it going, but basically the client or you as a client would just, leave the session being tuned up, being balanced, and being, healed and whole. This also puts the receiver in as I mentioned, the higher vibration, which means it also puts them into a closer resonance with their divine self, their higher self. So we're getting very spiritual in that they're, I guess you could call it ascending. They're growing, they're evolving. But it only happens in, the highest way, for the highest good, in the perfect amounts needed at that time. Okay? It's you're working energetically, but you're also working in a connection to the divine. So there's a lot of faith and a lot of trust that goes into this. This is something that I feel like I need to mention this now, and I do mention it throughout the course as well. But we are just conduits for this work. We're the vessel, right? We show up, and the divine energy, so the highest good energy, is what then moves us in this work. So, we have doubts, and we question our abilities, and we have that ego or that small self that comes up once in a while. It's, oh, I can't do it. But, you are doing it. If you show up, you're doing it. So while I'm on that subject, or while I'm in that place, let me just break into the 3 phases of the training. So the first phase is actually the phase of mastering your intuition. So this is where you learn about the different psychic gifts and abilities. You learn about your divine connection. You learn about meditation and why meditation plays a really important role in all of that, and even in the whole Reap Healing method. And some people have their own way of meditating, and that's totally fine. I'm not what I share are guidelines. Okay. So we talk about those. We practice those things. And then we move on to the second phase. And the second phase is learning all about the 11 activation centers, the powers that they hold, what it means to be in balance, what it means to be out of balance in those areas. And again, we cover the 4 areas of our being, the 4 areas: the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual. So we cover all of that. So this is where the structure lies. This is kind of where the outline of the work lies. Okay, so this is the intellectual part of the work. The first phase is the intuitive part. The second phase is the intellectual part. And then the third phase, we actually put them together. So we learn how to merge the two and actually put it into practice. Now, you would be practicing with another classmate. And this is all done live stream, live online, because it is a remote method. So you are able to feel things, connect with the person, get feedback probably from that person, and move along. And so I just kind of, hold that space while you are practicing, and I'll answer questions and I'll help guide you along in the process. And this is such a great phase, because so many people who are really question their gifts and abilities find out just how good they are. I just love how everybody is, I didn't think I could do it, but oh my gosh, I'm doing it. I have countless people who have said that. And the the confidence and the empowerment that comes out of each person in this phase is just amazing and tremendous. So it's a great phase, and it's a lot of fun. And then after we do the practice, I do a brief discussion on building your business using the repealing method. And this is, of course, for those who do want to build their business. There are people, as I mentioned before, who just want to know this for their own health and well-being, which I highly commend them in doing. I think everybody should be that empowered to know, that they can do it themselves. So those are the 3 parts of the training course. After that, in order to become certified, you will need to do a practicum with 2 people, 2 volunteer clients. It can be family members, it doesn't matter. And you will write everything up in terms of how you started, what you found, what you did, what you felt, what insight you might have had, if you had any, and any feedback that volunteer may have been giving you. So all of that, you put it all together and you send it to me. You'll email it to me, actually. And then you get your certification. That's all I require. Everybody passes in this course. And what's nice about the practicum is it gives us a chance to talk one-on-one, to go over any kinks, if you will, that you might feel that you have in the process, or any questions or anything really that you might feel, is holding you back, or maybe you want to share just how successful it is. And that's great too. So that's our time. That's our one-on-one time to sort of perfect and master your method, the way you do the REAP healing method. Once you become certified, and should you decide to use it in your business or in your work, I offer to help promote you through the website. I do have a practitioner page there where everybody who's interested in it can go there and look at the different practitioners. And what I encourage, and again, I talk about this throughout the course, what I encourage is that you put your own unique specialty into the work. So what sets you apart from other energy healers? You know, what is it that you have gone through? What was your experience and how did you heal from it? And what did you learn through that healing? And that's the thing that you want to take with you and put that out there. And I talk about this in building your business and so on and so forth. But again, this is your specialty. And how do you use your specialty with the REAP healing method? How do you put it together and give it and share it with the world? So I do encourage that. If you're not even sure what that might be, I can guarantee that you will find out what that is as you move on and do the work in the course and in the class. So that's pretty much the bulk of it in a nutshell. The REAP training course is starting on Monday. And it's going to be held right here, live online, from 7 to 9 p.m., and that's Eastern time. So I do record each one of the classes, yet I still encourage you to attend. It's okay if you're late attending or you need to leave early or whatnot. And sometimes life happens, we have to miss a class. That's great. The only class that I really strongly encourage that you don't miss is the class in which we practice on each other. It's so valuable. It is, you really don't want to miss that one class if you can make it. So the classes are 2 hours in length, as I said, 7 to 9, and we meet on Monday evenings, and it's 6 weeks long. So once a week for 6 weeks. Currently, I may have to do a pre-recording of the September 25th class, or I may have to find a date where everybody can meet. That would be an alternative to that particular class. But that shouldn't be a problem. We're pretty much right in the middle of it, and it would be an easy class. It would just be, one of the classes on learning some of the activation centers. The other thing I wanted to mention is that throughout the course and even after, I'm always, always open. My door is always open to any questions, any support, any, issues, any help you might need going forward with using REAP on yourself or anyone else. So I maintain a very long connection with all of my practitioners and all of those who have learned the Reap Healing method. I also have a Reap Healing Method community. It's a group on Facebook, and this is a great place for everybody to just meet up, and exchange questions, ideas, experiences, just kind of putting out there what other people, what other practitioners' take may be on a certain issue and whatnot. And of course, just nice to be with like-minded people as well. If you have any events or anything you want to promote, you're free to put it there in the group as well, to let other practitioners know. So it's another way to just stay connected and stay in touch and just be a part of the community, that like-minded community, for healing, as a healer. So any questions, anything that I can answer for you? Let's see. I don't know if you can go ahead and put it in the chat room. Let's see. Okay, let's try this.
Can you hear me, Pamela?
I can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay. I don't know how to type it in, so.
That's fine.
So my name is Maria.
Hi, Maria.
So I was wondering, I had a friend that took a, I think it's called IET.
Yep.
And so is this similar? It almost sounds a little similar.
It's they're all similar. All of these energy-based healing methods do have common threads through them. It's different, as far as I know, in that it doesn't work on specific centers or activation centers anyway, and doesn't talk about activations. I think that it's like a modality where you're using your hands kind of like Reiki, and you're actually putting energy in that way. So that's where I believe that it's similar. This is a little more specific in that you have the 11 activation centers. I also don't know how much IET encourages or even teaches the use of your intuition and your other psychic gifts and insights. I'm not really sure about that.
Yeah.
So I know it's integrative energy therapy, I believe it's called. So yeah, it's energy work that is integrative with, I think the key word here is integrative, because it's meant to let you know that it can be used with any other allopathic types of medicine or methods. So any types of traditional Western medicine, that is. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So can I just ask another? I don't.
Sure. Yeah, please.
Over anybody else. So I am a medium, and I do Akashic records.
Nice.
So Are there any other prerequisites? Do I have to be a Reiki master?
Oh no, there are actually no prerequisites at all.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, none at all. There are people who come in who are mediums and who have, know that they have their psychic gifts and abilities intact, and there are people who don't but would like to. So we have a big blend with that, and I encourage, as you know, everybody has that ability. It's just a matter of learning how to tap into it and formulate it and use it and trust it, right? So, but there are no prerequisites at all. You don't have to be into Reiki at all. I mean, a lot of people have come knowing Reiki, have come into it, but it's not necessary. Yeah.
Let me think. I'll ask another question if nobody's jumping in.
Yeah, nobody's jumping in yet, so
Okay.
go ahead.
Well, maybe my questions will help them. I guess I'm wondering, so it makes me think of Reiki, the way you were explaining it, okay?
Right.
And I have a couple friends that are Reiki masters, and I've experienced it, and boy, do I love it. But so is this similar in that aspect, as far as somebody would come to me with similar issues? Okay, like I just went to my friend recently with such a stiff neck and shoulder, and so is it similar like that? Is that how somebody would come to me for a REAP session?
Yes, it's very similar to that.
Okay.
They may even come to you because there's something emotional that's bothering them. So it's not only just physical. It can be something like, I'm just having this really hard time in my relationship right now, and I'm not able to function in the way that I need to in my job or something like that, right? It could be anything. It's any issue that they would come to you with. And in your training, as a result of your training, you would, as you're working with them, you would connect with them, and you would know where to go in the body to bring about the healing that they would need. But it's very specific, because while you also know in the body where the healing is, you also know why you need to go there. With Reiki, it's just you trust what the client is telling you. And it's like, okay, I need to go to the neck, and you put your hands over the neck or send them healing in the neck area. But with REAP, you may actually get that you need to go to the stomach area, for instance, which may not make any sense at all, but there's a reason, because something internal is going on, maybe in that center. And again, you'll learn about what powers the stomach center holds. You'll learn about, what it means to be balanced or imbalanced. And that might make sense why you need to go there. And you work from there, and then you get information. I know you will get information about why that is, what's going on there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. When I first started doing it, it took me a while to trust it, because I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. Why would I have to go, again, we'll use the example of the stomach. Why do I have to go to the stomach area if it's a headache? And there would be a connection. You would get that in the session, and the client would say, I'd get insight, and the client would say, oh my God, that makes so much sense. And boom, the headache's gone. So yeah, that's how it's it's very specific.
Yeah.
Which is where it's different from Reiki.
So the past couple of weeks, I've been listening and learning from Louise Hay, God rest her soul.
I know.
Well, I know I'm like sad, but I'm happy for her because I'm like, well, we know she's in a great place now, having a wonderful time.
She sure is. She sure is. She gave us
Um,
so much.
I know. I listening to her all the time, and I'm just so thankful. Like I've been led to her to listen to and learn from.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she teaches about, okay, so why, you have like, well, I'm learning from her about why would you have, a sore
Hmm.
shoulder, or, you know,
Yeah.
we shouldn't think, well, I must have slept wrong or this or that.
Hmm.
And it's kind of funny because, how things happen, right? They fall on your plate, and I'm learning, that maybe it's things I'm holding inside.
Yeah.
So is this what this is about?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah. Definitely. There's again, there are so many common threads that are weaved through this work, and with even the work of Louise Hay, and because that's our thoughts, right?
Mhm.
Our thoughts and our emotions, and how they affect our health and our well-being. So yeah, yep,
Nice. Okay.
yeah,
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
good, good. I just want to mention that there's been a surge, so I only have 5 spots left for people who
Wow.
want to take the course on Monday. Um, so I do generally offer this course once a year, and I also offer the um, level 2 training course once a year. And the level 2 is very advanced. We really get into a lot of more shamanically based
Oh, wow.
concepts. So I don't encourage people who have been using the first level training to sign up unless they've been using it for at least a year or
Okay.
more. But I offer, the first level training and the second level training once a year. First level is usually in the fall, and the second level is usually in the spring.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to put that out. But so let me just open this up for anyone else who has any questions. You can go ahead and ask now, or you can type it in the chat room. We've got some background noise there. I think I'm going to mute you so I can get rid of that background noise. Okay, there we go. All right. So if anyone else has a question, if you can go ahead and type it up in the chat room. I believe that there's also a way to raise your hand. Let's see. Can you raise your hand? Hi. I'm not sure how I can. All right, trying unmuting again. Give anybody a chance to talk who might have a question.
Thank you, Pamela. I'm going to leave, okay?
Okay, sure. Go right ahead. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, well, I am definitely open to any other questions you might have. Feel free to email me at, I have two emails, Pamela at passage2innerjoy.com, or you can also email me at the Repealing Method at info@repealing.com. So it's info@repealing.com. I will be sending out or posting the recording of this Q&A for anybody who might have missed it, so that you can hear what was said and hear the other questions that might have been asked, that might be able to help you with that. Again, the course starts on Monday. And I do only have 5 spots left. So if you're interested, you can contact me. Again, that's either Pamela at passage2innerjoy.com or info@repealing.com. Or you can just connect with me through Facebook, which is where you may have seen this, offering to begin with. So, what else? The event for the course is also online, under events on Facebook. And you can find it there, or just ask me for the link and I can go ahead and send it to you. So awesome. Thank you again for coming, and I'm going to stop the recording now.